Ty Maxon live in the studio here, WYCE.
So what are you going to do for us here?
I'm gonna do a song off the record. It's called Tooth Yoda.
We did this radio show in the morning.
Yeah,
I was
that's right.
super nervous about it. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like a big thing happened for me during that interview. I've never really realized that maybe people are affected by my songs or something. Like I've just never thought of them like listening really to something that I'm doing. I always think that I'm sharing something I made with them. During the break, after I played a song, the DJ got a phone call and he was like, "Hello? Sure." Eyes got really wide. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll tell him. He hung up the phone and he said, "This lady just called in and she said her husband committed suicide not, 2 weeks ago, and the song that you just played meant a lot to her." Like I never thought that people listened, and it didn't occur to me, you know what I mean? And then he was like, "Okay, we're on in 3, 2, 1, and I was like, hold on a second, man, what? So that meant a lot to me and kind of made me more self-aware. You know, so, yeah.
The Lamplight Music Festival is a series of coordinated house concerts that takes place in the Easttown neighborhood of Grand Rapids, Michigan. The festival began as an idea to foster a meaningful experience for musicians and audience members alike.
Right now, I'm just going to introduce to you Ty Maxon. I met Ty today, but I feel like after spending just an afternoon with him, we took a bus ride across the Midwest for weeks. His music has that resonance, and we're just really glad to be able to share that with you in this sort of setting.
I did not heed the words you told me. I will not be in love and lonely. I've been down, now I'm only waiting to be treated kindly.
So you've played Lamplight a couple times, yeah?
Yeah, I think the first year and the third year. The first year was really special to me because I used to live in Grand Rapids and I hadn't played there ever, but I lived there about 10 years ago. I lived in Easttown where the festival is, but yeah, I don't know, it was different. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right places, but couldn't really find any place to play or any kind of activity. So coming back 10 years later to see this thriving scene was amazing. The festival and house shows in general are very artist-focused and this overwhelming sense of community. I just remember looking out and there were people up the stairs and in the back and in the kitchen and on the floor and kind of huddled in, and we were all just in this little space, and I was playing new songs that I was nervous about, and it was so crazily intimate. Like you usually play a show and you want people to listen, and then you go to a show like Lamplight and you're like, they're locked in, you're like, oh, well now I have to do my job like as best as I can. I can't be upset at all, you know. The nice thing about songs is you can kind of kick them around all day. You don't have to have an instrument with you, but I don't really have like a mission statement. I just, melodies become words, and then you pick up a guitar, and then that just something sort of happens until it's done, and then you have this thing. I think songwriting shouldn't take place up in your mind. You shouldn't overthink things, and shouldn't take place just here, kind of like right in the middle. You want like a nice little balance of non-thinking and thinking. So when it works, I've found something out about something that I'm dealing with that I needed to deal with, and I didn't know how to organize my thoughts around it in any particular way other than the song that happened.
Yeah, so you can introduce the song and then play it.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, man.
It's a kind of a winter song. It's called Hip Hip Hooray. I like stuff that's not perfect. I think it's okay to make things that have flaws. I think those are what make songs interesting to me.
Wind chill upon your skin. Tried to warn you, but I went. I lost my holding soul. You froze within. Take my fault and take my fear. Make one day 100 years. No matter where you go.
I like the do-it-yourself community. Like the idea to have shows at your house. We've all been relegated to think that you have to get booked at a venue or something. Like, I love just to, you know what, screw that. Let's just do it the way we want to do it. And that's what I love about independent recording too. It's just like all of this impossible grandness of everything. Let's just make it ourselves. And then that kind of like imperfect quality is just sort of naturally there. There's the creaks of the house and birds outside the window, all of these things you can't get in a, you know, well-contained studio or something.
I can go on. I can go on. They can go on with you the same.
I think you have to make your art, hope that people will enjoy it, hope that they'll come to your shows, but also don't really care at all if that ever happens, you know? You can't really give a shit about it because then the art is compromised in a way.
Hip hip hooray for sports.